I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. The restless poet William Butler Yeats found peace in wild places. Like many great Irish writers, he felt a spiritual current that surges through this land. Nowhere else does every brush with nature feel so intense, so full of life. The poetry of Yeats, which evokes the essence of Ireland, still inspires many of our writers.
I write in a house of mud, straw and stone, with a roof of clay and grass, created from the soil of Ireland. If I'm speaking Irish, my name is Monachán. If I'm speaking English, I say Manchán. As I tend my pigs and vegetables, I'm rooted in a long tradition. For centuries, our farmers have been coaxing green shoots out of this rocky soil. This land, this lush island of Ireland, has always fed us and nourished our soul.
This emerald green island where I was born is a kind of paradise. When the first history of our island was written, it was called the Book of Invasions. Outsiders came here, attracted by its beauty and its rich soil. The Vikings came, then the Normans. Out of our rocky soil, we built massive fortresses and walls to keep us safe. But the invaders, they came anyway. 9 invasions in all. Some newcomers built grandiose mansions on the best lands, pushing the Irish people aside. For centuries, we fought them in vain, skirmish after skirmish, until an independence movement freed Southern Ireland. All the while, we longed for peace between regions, peace between religions. Then, in 1998, all clashing parties signed the Belfast Peace Agreement, changing Ireland forever. We were finally able to look to the future with joy in our hearts. This was a new Ireland. To help the healing process, a growing network of young Irish musicians from both North and South have joined forces to spread musical harmony. Their adventures will be the focus of Monaghan's next book.
These kids are different. They have a whole new confidence. This is a new generation of Irish. It's a new Ireland. Rhiannon grew up in Northern Ireland, which is part of the United Kingdom. Her parents lived through the angry years. The others are from the South, the Republic of Ireland. Noah wants to become a rock star. He plays 3 instruments and he sings.
I don't know where we are.
Osama is an example of the new Ireland. He's Irish Lebanese. He hopes to be a computer scientist.
Osama!
And Molly is a linguist. She proudly speaks Gaelic. She wants to keep our language alive. Through their music, these kids are trying to push the past aside. In 10 days, they will play a recital in the north for the President of Ireland. And we're all going to head up there together so that I can learn more about them for my book.
Did you say Kildare?
Their mentor, Patricia Tracy, will help me on the trip.
Meet those machines. Everything is laid out here. Look at that. There's nothing that isn't on
Too right.
And for this, I'm really grateful because traveling with teenagers is kind of daunting for me.
Malcolm, your map's upside down.
Our first stop is Ireland's capital, Dublin, which has the largest urban park in Europe. Dublin is a sophisticated city of music, great gastronomic experiences, and fun.
You know, then you get to your place where everyone gathers and there's such energy. Like, it's just no surprise that all the great music.
We Irish live and breathe stories, always have. They help us come to terms with the tragedies which once plagued us.
No, you go down.
We love our writers so much that we even have street parties to celebrate them.
Alarmed face asks me.
Today, we're dressing up in honor of the great James Joyce.
And the garters were blue to match on account of Charles Spearden. And they all saw it and shouted, look, there's Walls.
In Dublin's centre stands the 400-year-old university, Trinity College, treasure house of stories and learning.
It's lovely, it's wonderful.
And imagine we're right.
This vast collection of books once represented a significant proportion of the entire acquired knowledge of the human race. In pride of place is one of Ireland's most valued treasures, the Book of Kells, one of the most precious objects in the Western world. It's principally the Gospels, written out by hand in the old Gaelic script by Irish monks. But you can see the monks got pretty obsessed in decorating every inch of the pages. These 4 teens were born after the peace treaty was signed. So all of that dark, troubled years don't seem to weigh them down. They seem lighthearted and carefree.
What's that you say? Frankenstein.
No, Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Boo, galoo, boo, galoo, boo, galoo, I said right foot, left foot, head,
Toe,
toe. I said yes.
It's no, they never. No, they never, no more. Will I play the wild rover? No, never.
I learned fast that you have to keep kids exhausted. But in Ireland, that's sort of easy. We love all sports, especially Irish hurling. And there's the best golfing in the world.
I went to an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady my money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Sure, a custom like yours I could have any day.
As we head for the Atlantic coast, we pass some of Ireland's 400 castles. Many are now hotels, where Irish Americans like Ronald Reagan and Joe Biden have stayed.
The sleepy little harbour of Portamagee in County Kerry is the gateway to an unforgettable voyage back in time. From here, Monaghan will take the teenagers to two magical islands, where 1,000 years of Irish history still lives and breathes.
And it's no, they never. No, they never, no more.
And the kids have no idea what they're getting into. The towering rocks of Little Skellig are the first stop for migrating birds crossing the ocean from the Americas. These hooper swans just arrived. These big guys, 5 feet long, are so heavy that their legs barely support them on land. And this is one of the largest colonies of gannets in the world. The Skelligs are also home to one of my favourite creatures, puffins.
Male and female puffins mate for life. Scientists have recently discovered that their beaks are fluorescent. They glow at night.
Puffins live in burrows. It's really difficult to count them, which means it's very hard to get a population estimate.
The scientists Mark and Martha come here to count the puffins. Even the baby chicks hiding in their burrows in the ground.
It's got a camera.
And there we have it, a little chick. And puffin chicks are actually called pufflings.
They don't resemble their parents. I can't see it.
Oh, that's really cute.
Sadly, puffin numbers are dwindling.
The Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw described the main island, Skellig Michael, as part of our dream world. Half monastery, half fortress, this place guards our deepest spiritual roots. You can feel it in every rock you touch. Perhaps that's the reason 2 Star Wars films were shot here.
The climb to the top is so demanding, but my mind becomes obsessed with the people who created this remote island sanctuary. Here, patient monks, like those who created the Book of Kells, could feel closest to God.
Need to go around that bend.
Oh, okay. You can do this something.
If we could pray to St. Michael and
Yeah, just everything.
Oh, my knees. Almost there. I'm gonna take a rest at the top.
More than 1,000 years ago, Europe was engulfed by a cloak of darkness called the Dark Ages. Books were burned, wars raged, cultures were destroyed. But when this island was invaded, the monks successfully hid the priceless books and fought the Vikings off. Here, one passageway called the Needle's Eye was almost impenetrable, offering an ideal spot to safeguard the priceless manuscripts from the Greeks and from the Romans.
Something very peaceful about being out in the middle of nowhere, to be honest.
At the top, we all feel something special. This truly is a power place of inspiration.
Manchán was right. The island really has a touch of magic.
Ireland was, for some time, a lighthouse of ideas and knowledge shining out, steering people back out of the darkness. Some historians claim that the Irish monks here and elsewhere bravely saved Western civilization. I hear some of that idealistic spirit in the Ireland of today.
We drive along the wild Atlantic Way, heading towards the famous cliffs of Moher. This majestic 8-mile-long wall of stone rises above the Atlantic Ocean.
Looking down 500 feet above, you get an adrenaline rush that's completely unmatched.
I'll be careful, be careful. Yeah.
Go on, jump in and see.
I mean, what a drop.
When I was young, like every Irish child, I learned about a hero called and his mythical quest to find an island beyond these cliffs. the land of eternal youth and joy. With stories like these, we got through the dark times, and now we're rising towards the light again.
To get to Ireland's most infamous wave, surfers descend the cliff down a narrow path. One of those surfers is Fergal Smith, an Irishman. Fergal is a shining example of the new Ireland. After 6 years on the World Surfing Tour with plenty of wins, he gave up his surfing career to come home and work on his organic farm, Ireland's soil.
I knew exactly what I needed to do. I needed to get back to the land and start doing purposeful work that's of real benefit for the soil. And if we can create this better soil, then we have healthier people, healthier community, but most of all, we've got a future.
Fergal tells us about how we're now finding nutritional and medicinal benefits of our wild seaweed. There were times in history when we Irish didn't have enough to eat. Our survival depended on just one single crop, potatoes. We ate them morning, noon, and night. In the 1840s, when the potato crop failed, 1 million died of disease and starvation. 2 million emigrated, mostly to America. It copper fastened a connection to the United States that has grown stronger and more potent with every year. Today, we're becoming foodies.
Yeah.
The poet Yeats wrote, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." Our Emerald Isle seems to have magic in its soil. The Irish always had a belief in the other world, the spirit realm, the sanctity of nature.
Our ancestors saw a divine presence in everything. Every leaf, every raindrop, every single thorn on a blackberry bush. And if one goes through the world with that mindset, it sort of affects how you do so much of what you do. On the 1st of May every year.
This is what we've been doing. People have been getting up at cockcrow, and then you either wash your face or you roll your entire body in the early morning dew.
They're cold.
Well, if you want, you can strip off, but I'm just gonna, at this hour, I'm just gonna do my face. So you find whatever dew that's been left on the grass.
Ireland is alive with an invisible presence. A playful, healing spirit. And I'm hoping that a bit of that might rub off on the kids.
My skin felt amazing afterwards.
There, you are now guaranteed beauty and health for the whole year.
I already have beauty and health. Anything else? Money?
Don't thank me. You're all right. You're welcome. Least I could do.
I really love how the poet Yeats writes about Ireland, about its hidden magic beauty. its wild coastline, its mythical waterfalls, and the pure, warped genius and idealism of its people. Even Yeats's grave is poetic.
Cast a cold eye on life, on death, horseman passed by. Basically, like he saw himself as channeling the essence of Ireland. So that was what was important, not him. So just ignore life, ignore death, move on by. So the horseman is just us, you know? We're meant to just forget about him, which we should do, and just move on and find our own essence of Ireland.
The kids are finally speaking up about which Irish places they want to see. Like the beach that offers surfing lessons for beginners.
She played the fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance. I met her on Grafton Street, by the side of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. She asked me, what does it mean? The Gaelic ink on your arm. Said it was one of my friend's songs. Do you want to drink on? She took Jamie as a chaser.
I absolutely love learning how to surf.
Chatted some more, one more drink at the bar, then put on the jukebox, got up to dancing. She played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance with my pretty little Galway girl. You're my pretty little Galway girl. You know she beat me at darts and then she beat me at pool, and then she kissed me like there was nobody else in the room. As last I was recalled was when she stood on the stool. I never heard Fergus have a song so sweet. I could put her in the bar using her feet for a beat. Oh, I could have that voice playing on repeat for a week. And in this packed out room where she was singing to me. You know she played her fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed her on the neck and then I took her by the hands. And baby, I just wanna dance, my pretty little girl.
Redheads are celebrated here. We have 5 times more than any other place on planet Earth.
A bit ago, we all kissed the Blarney Stone.
Legend says that when you kiss the Blarney Stone, you're forever blessed with the gift of gab.
And now, the boys will not shut up.
You know me, I like to talk. Oh, come on.
Years ago, I did a show on Irish TV to get us all to at least try to speak the Irish language, Gaelic, a little more, to keep it alive.
I wasn't caring about my fashion. I was trying to make a point about the language, you know. Liam, a few of you couple focal for large in Australia. No sprechen. No sprechen.
I tried, in a humorous way, to show that our Gaelic language may be dying. Our native tongue carries ancient codes of who we are. In Galway, we stopped to listen to a man who is committed to saving the Gaelic language. Our president, Michael D. Higgins. It's a treat for the kids to hear him speak, as they'll play a concert for him later.
Agus is mór am a bhein seo nó downta ag an ulcógáil spéisiúlta seo. Atá heagruig chun an a gailge go forteach de thuilscoil na hÉir an Gaillimh.
Gaelic stories are treasures that help heal our troubled past. As we head north, we'll be crossing the invisible border that splits the island into 2 parts. As we leave the Republic of Ireland, we enter Northern Ireland. For Noah, Osama, and Molly, it's another country. For Rhiannon, this is home.
I wanted to bring everyone to a rope bridge. It was built long ago by a fisherman.
I don't know about you, Rhiannon, but I'm not like
liking this. I'm not liking it one bit.
The fisherman who built the bridge did so to store his boat in a safe spot. Sometimes the way ahead is precarious, but we go anyway.
Today we're on our way to a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, dude, I love Giant's Causeway. Oh, I love it.
The Giant's Causeway is said to have been built by our greatest hero, Fionn McCool, to protect us from an evil giant.
Our guide has a different explanation. Jennifer explains that the basalt rock formations were created by volcanic eruptions about 60 million years ago.
These eruptions erupted into a lava lake. So imagine it's contracting as it cools. And because it's of homogeneous composition, as it contracts, it forms these 90-degree angles. So you can probably see them here. It either formed a 6-sided shape, a 5-sided shape, or I think there's some 7- and 8-sided shapes.
The slower it cools, the more hexagonal the shape will be.
Yeah, the more time it has and form its shapes.
Jennifer said there are about 40,000 of these basalt columns. This place is huge, and it's amazing.
You're gonna have to just go for it. Now, Osama, now! Quick, come.
I am shocked. In the past, we used our mythology to explain things that we didn't fully understand. Ancient stories help make sense of life. Music and song can do that too. I'd love to welcome you today to our little band of musicians. We're going to play a tune for you.
I'm really excited to show my friends where I grew up.
But call me back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley is hushed and
During the Northern Ireland conflict, a wall was built through Belfast city to protect rival communities from each other. Though she was raised here, Rhiannon has never seen the wall until now.
The Troubles are a distant memory for most. But the wall is a reminder of the constant scar that they've left.
Today, Northern Ireland is at peace. In the city of Derry, there's now this elegant bridge connecting what were once warring communities. It's a curved bridge. Why? Because the road to peace is never easy or straight.
the place where I am lying, and kneel and say, I know they there for me, and I shall
We've had a long history of conflict, but now the whole island of Ireland is embracing peace as one people, united by our youth.
my grave will warm and sweet her be. For you will run and tell me that you love me.
A very important thing we learned is how to listen to each other closely. And that's true of everything in life. We can't work together as one if we don't listen.
And I shall sleep
Even though we all come from these different backgrounds, it really feels like a family.
The Irish family is coming home. You can feel it in the air. For Monaghan and his young friends, Belfast is the natural endpoint of their pilgrimage. This once bleak city, so full of strife and turmoil, is now alive with a new spirit of harmony.
This is the first time I've been to Belfast in years. And it feels like a new city. Younger, more vibrant.
I grew up roaming these fields and forests where Game of Thrones was filmed. As more people discover her secret places, Northern Ireland blossoms, which, I have to tell you, does my heart good.
For these four musicians, playing for the President of Ireland was the highlight of the whole trip.
Over the past month, the four kids and their mentor, Patricia Tracy, have inspired people with their music all over our island. These kids are building toward the future. As the poet Seamus Heaney would say, a future with the new and the old, where hope and history can rhyme. Like the tenacious Irish farmers of old, these idealistic young musicians have made little green shoots of hope start sprouting.
Seeing them play Irish music for our president, it just hits me out of the blue that I am so proud of my four young friends. Just being with these kids has shown me that when your heart breaks free of the past, love can actually grow inside.
Oh, come on, go.
Monaghan spent his youth traveling the world and writing books about the experience.
And then it'd be lovely to have enough food that you could just... Before this, we'd seen that the forest was being cut away more and more by local farmers, and we were scared. But this area was...
Now, as he's gotten to know these four musicians, the theme for his book has become clear. The young are creating a new Ireland. The poet Yeats urged us to find our own essence of Ireland. And the young in Ireland are doing just that. And like the monks of Skellig Island, these kids and their fresh spirit have become a beacon of hope for the world.